Hello, 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 everybody. Let me put some music on. I am actually working on cooking my coffee. So let's get together and then we'll start. Why is this so quiet? Better? Better. Hello! Happy Saturday! Yeah, this is for Saturdays, Tiger. It's for Saturdays. Yeah! Should I take a picture of you waiting? Saturday? I have to show you Tiger excited about this Saturday. Look at him. It's just him seconds ago. Okay, let me grab my coffee or at least put the water in. What will I do for the reading? Sally. Go and find Safi. Go and find Safi and Matrix. Bring them here. Come on, bring them here. Find Safi and Matrix. Come on, tell him to come here. And Tiger is like looking for what he has to do, and I don't know why is this so bad over here. Come on, YouTube, figure it out. It's all red. It says video output is low. It's all fuzzy, but I'm going to continue and hopefully it's going to get better. Hello, Michelle. Hello, everybody. And my coffee is just about to water, better to say boil. So let's kind of like start, and hopefully everybody had a really great week. We have a heat wave. It's ridiculously hot. It was yesterday, what was it, 39 degrees, and I don't know if this means anything to you guys. If you are in imperial system, I'm going to tell you 39 Celsius to Fahrenheit is 102 was yesterday, and today is going to be 46, which is 115. So needless to say, you're just outside for a one tiny little second. Okay, so my water is boiling. Let me, where did I lose you? No, I didn't lose you. Let me just, Michigan has been hot too. Hey, thank you, Essence Sweet. Let me just put the water in a coffee and then we will start. Leo is first. Just to let you know. No, actually, sorry. We'll make Cancer first because it's still their birthday. And this third decan of Cancer is very, very sensitive one. So, I have asked Tiger to bring the kitties over. So we will see if he understood that. Bring Safi and bring Matrix. Where's Kitty? Where's Safi, the girl? Bring him over. Because he's like doing that to kids when we go outside. So I really hope this kind of like clears. This looks very blurry on my end. Heat has been coming to Estonia soon, 27, 28. Yeah, it's 46 with humidity. It was like so hot yesterday, and I live next to a river and a huge park here in Toronto. It was empty, and I had to walk the poor thing, and we are just 15 minutes out and we are coming back. Okay, hi Netherlands, nice to see you guys. So let's see, 4:44 I saw it. So let's start with Cancer and happy birthday. And you're already getting some information here. You're getting anything else that kind of like, I'm using Osho Zen, and I'll be using Morgan Greer Tarot. I just really want a combination. So the Creator, it's kind of like really lovely card. Look at him. His solar plexus is all kind of like blasting here. As I said, the third decan of Cancer could be tidbits sensitive, and this is really showing over here. It's really telling you that maybe you are being affected this particular week, and it's awful, awful, awful Mercury retrograde. Guys, tell me how it has been for you, but oh my gosh, it felt like I have to keep dodging things left and right, but knock it 3 times or 4 times, whatever I did. Tiger hasn't been injured this week, and other than this heat, we just, you know, couldn't get in trouble if you really wish. As far as you Cancers, it looks like somebody this week is going to do things that is going to feel like hurting you. It's going to feel like they do not have your best interest in mind for some reason, right? The Creator always talks about kind of like feeling in a gut, and you might feel that you have been quote unquote punched in a gut, or you, this also can indicate receiving some kind of news that are 1, unexpected, 2, unwanted, 3, hurtful, and it's really, really important to understand that, right? And then you have integration, and I really love this integration card because look at it. We have a swan and we have an eagle on the other side. It's really talking about like 2 hands are holding this yin and yang thing, and we also have a snake biting its tail, and diamond. So a whole bunch of symbolism, fire and water. So 2 very almost like opposite things in us we really have to marry. So sometimes we feel affected by a person or by a situation. It could be for some of you guys that you're also dealing with a person who was whining and dining you and spending lots of attention, and all of a sudden they just like drop you like a hot potato, and or a situation happened that somehow things are just not really working out. But this is talking about, hey, you know what, it's kind of like important to kind of like merge these possibilities. You know what, I'm going to at the very least remove this kind of social media things because they don't make any sense over here. Is that this? Yeah, because it's so freaking blurry, and I just don't want it to kind of like be a part of this. Come on, YouTube. Like with that much money that Google makes, one would expect kind of like do this streaming a little bit better. So integration really talks about that hopefully you're going to integrate things that actually came your way, whether or not this was like too far approach, whether or not it was smooth and sailing. So literally you really either want to soar above the issues or you want to sail through them, right? But in any case, you need to acknowledge them, which is very, very important over here. So let's see. Then we have like a 6 of Wands reversed. This is really telling me this is connecting again to the same situation. It's about feeling victorious, feeling successful, feeling, but not feeling it this way, wanting to feel this way, but kind of like failing to feel like it. You're kind of set on kind of like some protocol, on some kind of goals. You want to go in a certain direction, but direction doesn't really want to go back with you. So there is like an issue over here that is clearly calling for your attention. It is clearly calling, hey, you know what, let's kind of like work on it. Let's kind of like attend to the six of Wands is kind of like talking about feeling better than everybody else. So this is really telling me that somebody is probably leaving you feel unaccomplished. Somebody's leaving you feel a little short. Almost like I don't know, did you see this movie Horrible Bosses, where you're expecting a promotion and you're just almost like jumping and standing up because you have been told this is what's going to happen, and it just goes to someone else. It's just like feeling slighted, kind of a thing. So integration is one of those cards that is really talking about, hey, you really need to kind of like put those things in balance. It's also about patience. It's also about, you know, health for some of you, I would say. And it could be healing. Also, it's possible that some of you have been drinking too much, or you got quote unquote drunk on things that you could do because you have been going through a very lucky streak. It reminds me of the episode of Seinfeld where Elaine was dating this guy, and everything, just good things happened to this guy. And she said, this is not even statistically possible that all these good things are happening. Look at to me, like I am not being kind of like approached this way. He said, what do you mean? So somebody living their life, just not realizing this was just very unique and not really just normal as this person kind of like thinking. So you might also have guides coming to you guys in this particular period, and these guides would be telling you the story, and you need to listen to it, because you will feel really torn in two different directions, and it's going to be time to kind of like marry that. All right, so I'm going to grab my coffee right now, and hubby is Cancer Moon, so yeah, and it's going to be really interesting with all this retrograde that we are dealing with, what we are going to do. So the next one is going to be Leo, and I do have to say that you guys did take me seriously, which I want to be taken seriously, and you were clicking. So after Leo is Aquarius. So Aquarius did almost like impossible, because I wanted to ideally release the signs closer, so that way, yes, sure, like the first ones who actually had more clicks get ahead, but it didn't really work out this way, given how my life got in the way. So what happened was the Aquarians released, I think, 5 days down the road, and they still managed to get to the second one. So guys, clicking, and I'm working on monthlies, and so far I did Leo and Aquarius, and it is a spectacular reading, I gotta tell you, really spectacular. So thank you, Sally. Let me just grab a coffee, and I can kind of join with you. You eat your breakfast, mister. Yeah, you eat your breakfast. So my coffee is coming, and hopefully it has enough sweetness. So my coffee is here. And guys, today I'm officially starting the next phase of my cleanse, which I need to do for shamanic things, which technically would have to make me do a vision quest, to be 4 days out of any kind of electrical stuff. It's going to be really, really hard, I have to say, extremely hard. So I'll see how I can do it, because I need to do the readings, so it's impossible, but I'll definitely do it with the supplements and do it that way. So hopefully, you know, things will work out, and this is like talking about growing new body. 7 videos for Leo? What do you mean 7 videos for Leo? Huh? 7 videos for Leo? How do you know? No, just kidding. What do you mean by 7 videos for Leo? Actually, it's going to be more than one, that's for sure, because I'm doing something really different. So you're reading my mind. Happy birthday, Ruth. It's all the best. Monthly reads? What do you mean monthly reads, 7 videos for Leo? I don't understand. Let me just see. Live dashboard. I don't understand. Hopefully you're going to clarify. So let's go Leo. Leo is next. Eden, what do you mean 7 videos? When monthlies come, like usually it's like one sign, but actually just time around, I'm doing something much different. Okay, Steve, I'll see you soon. Okay, sweetie Barbie, you work on Saturday, 10 a.m. meds. So it's 10 a.m. for you. Okay, so it's 11:15 here for me. Just a sip. How people dare to annoy you while we are doing the reading. I don't have enough sugar here. So this would be Leo. You have a silence, it's reversed. You have success, which we had it in Cancer reading. We have silence reversed, so you're not going to be silent. Receptivity, which is absolutely lovely card, and isolation reversed. This is actually, I would say, really lovely. And didn't manage to do something to this? I guess I did. I think overall there is a feeling of you fully integrating and participating. You Leos, you are going to love your reading. You honestly, I really don't think I ever had a reading like that, ever. Aquarius was also very good, maybe not as good as Leo, but hey, I would not complain about it. So guys, this particular week you're entering into Leo region. You probably, I'm already hearing wow, 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 like you're ramping up, like you really want to feel this birthday stuff. And it's not going to be one day for you, it's going to be this entire month. Hello, Knitting Yogi from Maine. Like, how is the weather there? Like, you're a little bit north of us. Is it at least some kind of like better relief? So yes, we just did Cancer and now Leo, Barbie, thank you. So here, look at that, walking on top of the world, and there is like tiger. If I say this word, is he going to come? He just looked at me. So it is kind of like this feeling, oh my god, I many vidi vici, I came, I saw, I conquered, right? That's how it translates. And I think for you it has been a long trip and a long ride. August monthly says 7. What, you guys can see these videos? I didn't release them yet. Oh my goodness, Eden, you're a little smarty. Yes, it's going to be lots of videos. I thought I hid them. Oh, I'm going to hide them now. I'm not letting anybody to see it until ready. Oh my gosh, you are very super smart. So let me do that because I'm absolutely hiding it until it's ready. So that's right, it's going to be 4 to 7 videos for every sign in this particular time. So anyway, I'm not going to do it. I think you figure it out, and that's why I saw that somebody was looking videos. I said, how is that possible? So you see, that's the Mercury retrograde thing. You are not supposed to see it, but you did see it. So I don't know, you are amazing. What can I tell you? Absolutely amazing. Good for you. But psst, I'll have to kill you if you tell it to anybody else. So the truth is out. For those of you who are listening, there'll be quite a few videos for Leo, and I'm just trying to make it easy, guys, for you, that you don't have to listen through my little kind of thing, which is like 49 minutes. So I did make it easier for you and chunk it out so you can actually take a small chunks at a time. So silence is reversed. You're not going to be silent. Yes, this is the star card, but in this deck I'm reading these cards differently, right? So the silence is like maybe something, the process that has been happening inside, maybe renewing faith in yourself, maybe you're awesome. Cute. Thank you, but they will hear me talking about that now. How do I remove that? I can't. It's all good. I'm going to hide them later. I don't want to kind of spend time because it's going to spend forever with Mercury retrograde. Isolation is really talking about getting out of your own shelf. It's getting out of this feeling where maybe some of you had shed lots of tears. Maybe if you felt like you have been isolated from something, because the silence is now turning into communication. The silence is right now saying, look, give it to me. I don't care what it is. I need to hear it. I want to hear it. Just give it to me. And then you're getting this Queen of Cups receptivity. And look at her. Like her head is like this lotus. And lotus is like same to the people in the East as it is to us in the West, rose, except doesn't have thorns. And it's opening up. So there is like, especially for you ladies, Leo, you are going to be attracting love and universe like bees to basically attracted to honey. You're going to actually amortize this lotus, did I pronounce this properly? Sort of like you're going to feel that you are able to show your gorgeousness to the world. You are going to feel, oh my gosh, I have something to give. Something, it almost like tells me that maybe some of you have pulled up inside and you have kind of constrained yourself from progressing. But there was lots of internal stuff happening in the meantime, and that internal stuff is like right now going to start coming out. You're coming out of that isolation. You're coming out of what, not claiming what is rightfully yours. And what I really think in this particular case is love and life, because that's why the receptivity is happening. You're going to be a liberator. You'll be attracting lots of people. Lots of good stuff will happen. You're reaching the balance, emotional balance in particular. So that is very important. Hi, Kylie, or good morning, I should say. So it's kind of like very important. Let's just see what we get. We get Magician, and look at this, like 5. All the bad things, guys, are right now behind you. Like you are right now completely clear that you dug yourself out of the hole, and that you have everything you absolutely need in order to move forward. The cycle continues, and this new cycle, you are rejoicing, you're celebrating, and this is really good because I can also see emotional maturity. You are going in a new cycle, but you're also realizing, look, I know where I came from, and I'm going to make sure that I am celebrating where I am, but I'm not forgetting where I was, because it tells me that maybe emotionally, maybe financially, maybe you felt stranded, maybe you felt being left out in the cold, maybe you felt that somebody put a boundary in between, and it was really very hard for you to kind of like position yourself with this big question why, that I'm picking up on it, and all of a sudden there is like this burst of energy. So it's good for you, Leo. What can I say? Leo really deserves it. And guys, congratulations and thank you very much for clicking. That's why you're sign number 1, except on the weeklies, because Cancer's birthday is now, so we are going to see it. So hi, Nora. I need a little bit more sweetener. Hello, did he bring you over? You're showing up for Leo? You showed up for Leo in their reading, didn't you? Hi, Sophie. Do you love me? Yeah, maybe. Can you read for Aquarius that is coming next while I just put a little bit more sugar? Hi, Soph. Who's pretty girl? Who is pretty girl? Who is pretty girl? Come on, say something to camera. Come on. Okay, what else? You saw an alien? Really? Did Tiger make you come here? Yes, Tiger, you're so proud of yourself. See, he's getting his hurting one. Okay, grab more sugar. Grab a little bit more sugar. My stevia, because I am not supposed to put anything really processed in my body anymore, like while I'm doing this 5-week grow your body kind of a thing. So let's hope for that. Aquarius, fantastic monthly reading, absolutely fantastic. I finished it literally 3 minutes before I start this live. I didn't process. Good morning, Chris. It's almost noon here. What do you mean yawn? I had to wake up that early to walk the dog because it's so hot outside. So Aquarius, Let's see what is going on for Aquarians this month. And hopefully Sophie will visit again. Oh, look at you! I was just talking about you. Look at you. What, you just passed by? That's it? I guess this is also it for Aquarians. Wow, intensity and consciousness. This is also amazingly, this is also lovely. Intensity is like really talking about the life is gaining speed. This is really telling me that possibly Aquarians took it easy, took too much time, got sidetracked, went in all directions, and now it's really time to kind of like go in kind of like completely different thing. This is this karma card, consciousness. It's really talking about this. Things need to happen, and they are done in divine order. The consciousness card is the Ace of Swords, which is one of my karma cards, and you can see in Osho Zen it's represented with Buddha, and the Buddha is having like this third eye vision. So it's setting your eye on a goal and getting there. It's absolutely wonderful. This card is also a card of victory. This card is like of kind of like reaching and achieving. It could be that there was like some kind of a constraint feeling up to this point. It could be that things really didn't work out, or there has been some kind of like immobility. Be careful driving, guys, because it's Mercury retrograde after all. Things could happen. Lots of things could come in a way. And Tiger, stop eating the door. When I'm doing the readings, he is bored to death because I'm not entertaining him every 5 minutes. So he kind of like tried to do things like this as of lately to attract my attention. So let's see a couple of more cards for Aquarians. Aquarians. And this one wants to come out. This is the Knight of Swords, and this is the Queen of Rods. So I really think this is it. You guys might have some activities with the children, because look at this, we see things. Knight of Swords means really fighting for what is rightfully yours. It could be some conflict in this period, but that's kind of like normal Mercury retrograde for Aquarians. It's almost like a way of life. Conflicts are always there for Aquarians because that's why is the air sign, because you are supposed to cut the things in order to move forward. You know the story about the Sleeping Beauty, how the prince showed and he had to cut through this rose bushes and all the thorns in order to enter and kiss her. So that's sort of like proverbially what air signs are. In particular, this is really telling to Aquarians. Queen of Rods, it also talks about that it could be somebody, wink wink, asking you, you want to go and play something, you want to play golf, or you want to go hiking, and it's going to look like really innocent. It's going to look like a friendly invite, but it's going to be way more than friendly invite. This person is thinking about impressing you. This person is thinking about something, so don't freaking screw it up, because it's a big possibility the Aquarians are going to say something to hurt this person's feelings, and all of a sudden their entire planning would be, okay, why am I doing this? This person is not even appreciating that. So things can just happen without you really saying anything bad. So for example, they say, hey, would you like to go hiking? You say, why would you want to? It's so freaking hot outside. And what was behind their sentence was a whole bunch of things. Hey, I have prepared a very pretty picnic basket, etc., which they didn't communicate to you. So be very cautious how that's being communicated in this particular time, because I see Aquarians could kind of create a boo-boo in some respect. So believe it or not, the third sign is Scorpio, I think, and I don't have a list, so I'll go with Scorpio because this is it. And I have to tell you that somebody left this in front of my door. What do you think? Isn't this freaking cute? Isn't this cute? Oh yes, Barbie, thank you. That's what we are going to do. You see, guys, Barbie is your shining star. So I really want to get a different tarot deck for this, and let's grab this one. What? I have only one card of this deck? Let's get Kitty Tarot. Let's get Kitty Tarot for this. So you guys, who are present here on live, Safi, you want your question answered? So ask yourself, a question. It's more or less on yes or no tangent. So I'm going to give you the answer with shuffling away from the camera, and that's because the cards are popping out and I don't want you to see it. So this one already jumped out. Let's see. Safi is really coming back. Like, she is starting to get along with Tiger, so which is really good. I still didn't see them playing together, and hopefully that's going to happen one day. Door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. I love Barbie's icons. Guys, thumbs up for Barbie. Yay, Barbie. Yay, 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 yay. Guys, thumbs up. Like, we have to acknowledge somebody who is doing so much. And doors number 3. Door number 3. So your question is going to be answered only with one of these doors. So you have to pick, so think really clearly which one you're picking. So for those of you who picked door number 1, is Demon Cat. It's Safi on steroids, or it's rather Matrix on catnip, rather to say. It is reversed. This really tells me that the question that you're asking for is not good for you. It's something that you really shouldn't be, it's not the direction where you should go. Or to some extent, it could be unhealthy choice. Let's put it this way. Because when it's reversed, you're kind of like coming to realization. It almost looks like that you're going to abandon that question because you're going to feel, you know what, this is really not good for me, and this was me before, and it's not me going forward, and I kind of like really need to kind of like push things away, and it's going to be really something that is going to be self-explanatory to yourself. It's going to be really a big turnaround of things over here. And I don't know if you're hearing meow 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 in the background. That's usually how she goes when Tiger is kind of like putting the snout in her face and trying to kiss her, and she's not kissing. Safi, come. You're not Safi, but you're Tiger. That's okay. Kind of like stop bothering the cat. Sit, baby. Door number 2. We have the cat. That's kind of like a foolish question that you have asked, guys, and you probably are going to get it, but you might feel a little foolish about it. Let's put it this way. So it's going to kind of like have a completely different ending than what you anticipated. So it's something that you might want to think about. It's really interesting that they're getting major arcana over here that is happening, because look, this is something like, I mean, proverbial leap of faith, jumping into something, but you might be jumping into things that are just like really too hard to handle. And door number 3, another major arcana. Look at that. All of the 3s are kind of no's with different respect, but no's with you all guys having different maturity. With the number 3 is like, this might happen, but it's going to go nowhere. It's going to go right in a ditch. So these 2 worry me a little bit, because it really tells me that you will go down this garden path where in this first door is telling me, okay, you're going to kind of like get very cognizant of the direction, and you don't want kind of like any birds to be harmed in this kind of story. So hey, there you go. Sometimes it happens that we have everything going in this direction. So let me just put this back to shuffle it so we have it for the next time. You guys really need to be nice to Barbie in order for her to call this again. So let's go Scorpio. And I need to hurry up because I'm doing also intermittent fasting, and I didn't eat. I'll tell you how much, how long. I have this app that is really doing this thinking for me. So it has been 19 hours or 3 minutes so far. So I'm trying to go with 20 hours fast. So this is kind of like inner voice reversed and success. Scorpio, there is like a sense of accomplishment. There is the sense of, hey, you know, who was this? Was it the Leo that had it, right? I'm on top of the world, because he's walking on top of that. It's North America here, is it? Yeah, I think so. It looks like it's Florida here sticking out. And inner voice reversed to me always talks about not really tapping into your intuition. So this is to me interesting because you're a Scorpio, right? And Scorpios are naturally having that intuition. You're naturally kind of like looking into things and what they represent without somebody telling you, or you need to kind of think what the writer really thought about it. Kind of like for you, this is kind of integral because you are experiencing already that emotions. So this is connected also to moon phases, I would say. It's kind of really interesting. We have the sun setting and then we have it in the moon. And it could be some kind of secrets over here. It could be some kind of repression of the things. But it could be also kind of mistrust that is happening in this particular situation. So almost like that you're not trusting maybe your own kind of like good stars, that something really good happens and you will go, no, I don't trust you. Are you sure? No, like it could be even winning the lottery, guys. So clarification, the lovers. Oh, it could be something about meeting meeting a special person. Why are you fighting against yourself, Scorpio, here? This kind of like really tells me that this is that sexuality that is involved in this card, and maybe you're going to have a quickie. This can kind of tell me about this one night stand, not really listening, that you shouldn't be doing that, not trusting this is going anywhere, and yet continuing on that path anyway. Let me grab one more card over here. Have a good weekend, Nat. Really nice to see you here. Was the bad kitty for Aquarius or Scorpio? Not sure. Yeah, look at that. You're having this air showing up here. It's going to be lots of thinking about the situation. And as I said, going into something, it's going to feel like you are on the receiving end of something that you don't feel you deserve. You see, these two cards are really connected. You're really going to feel that something got in the way. You're going to feel, oh my gosh, it kind of like feels like huge connection with someone, enormous connection. And then you wake up the next morning and you go, what in the world was it thinking? So I would say, Scorpio, do not drink. Make sure not drinking, because it's going to be lots of illusions that will be happening this week. And as good as it starts, it might be very different at the end of the week. So do not make big decisions, do not make big proclamations, and don't go too far too soon with anybody. Very, very important to notice, right? You might also kind of like be torn in your own head with decision that you need to reach, because it's going to feel like something feels so good right now, even though you know it's not good for you. So kind of like it's kind of that very addictive feeling that I see in all of that. And since I did not write the next signs, I'm simply just going to go with the flow. So what do I do next? Let's do Sagittarians next, because they're usually very close to the Scorpio in terms of clicks. So guys, please click. Clicking is going to get you faster reading and kind of like more involved reading. So that way I want to kind of exhaustion. Guys, you have created some kind of system. You have created something extremely convoluted. Look at him. Look at him. He is clearly suffering. He came up with this defense system, and you have to pull this plug. You have to push these buttons. Like, I mean, in order for doing it, but he is exhausted. He cannot continue doing these things. So what are you guarding, guys? What happened? What story are you really talking about here? What kind of battles did you have to go through it in order to get here? It really feels like you're coming to the point of, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can continue this. Like there is like some kind of self-protection that has been involved. Good morning, creative guru. That kind of like pushed every freaking limit possible. And Maybe you think you have been getting away for something, but is this actually making any sense? Almost looks like he has the patches over here. He didn't see kind of like life, kind of like really very much lately. And that's why this kind of big questioning, like, why am I doing this? For who am I doing this? The question that you need to answer for yourself, guys, why are you doing this? What is going on here that you feel, you know, this needs to continue? There is like something that you need the answers, I would say. It could be that you want to persist in whatever you're doing. There's like clearly determination over here. But you need to ask yourself, at what cost are you doing that, right? It's very important. Yeah, for Sag Moon and particularly because it can be very exhausted, especially if Moon is in Sagittarius, because two conflicting right signs, like Moon is like more belonging to the water category, and Sagittarius, it could really give you a feeling that people are not thinking about your own best interest. And that's why, look at this, you're going from 9th to 10th. Oh, where did I leave this? I need to read you, oh, okay, I'm not going to right now. It's a different card. I think this is about Nietzsche's book, Das Spook Zarathustra, where we have the camel who thought it's a mountain, right? And he thought, well, nobody's moving the mountain. I'm always going to be here. It's always going to be this way. But at some point, the passion, the sheer passion, kind of like rebirthed this lion over here. And now I'm fierce, I'm capable, I can move forward. But it was not the final stage, because the final stage was like this child, this innocence. And you can see how we are going from kind of completely clouded opinions to kind of like determination and something new. So it could be about the children, guys. It could be about some kind of Leos that are involved over here. It could be about something that is really hard to bridge. Maybe you have built life on completely wrong kind of like ground. There's like a house of cards kind of like feeling that I see over here, because do you really want to be a camel? Do you want to be a lion? Do you want to be a child? And I really think these two cards are telling me that there is like a release of something, that you need to start fresh, that you need to start new. And for that is needed courage, which you did think you have, but there are like some kind of like secretive quality in all of that. Or other people perceive you as secretive over here. Maybe you feel like going to be eaten by this lion. Maybe you would be. Who knows? Because rebirth, it says, clearly you cannot continue going the way you were going. It is really time to do things differently, and it is kind of like pushing it forward. So you guys need to decide how far you really want to go. Do you want to get stuck in the rut like being the camel? Do you want to fiercely defend yourself? Almost like truth goes in 3 stages, right? I think Schopenhauer said at first is ridiculed, and that's what the camel is doing, it's ridiculing it. Then it's like violently opposed, and that would be the lion. No, wow. And then it's accepted, it's self-evident, and that's why everybody's singing the same tune. So which phase are you in, Sagittarius, over here? Kylie, protection from knowing others don't have my best interest. Yeah. It's kind of like really interesting reading. And there is like a needing of strength, and there's needing of commitment. I don't know if you guys are dealing with Leo over here, or you're simply kind of like needing to approach things in a less stressful way, because this is really talking about, yes, it's a fan making a sound. Like, he's so protective of me. Anybody who comes and makes a sound, he is really addressing this. Do you want me to turn it off? Huh, Tiger? I tell you. Yes, Mr. Scorpio. So Scorpio. This is hilarious. And Safi is looking at him. Are you insane, dude? Are you totally insane? Just calm down, chill, kind of a thing. Mommy's working. So guys, strength card that shows up here is always talking about needing to resolve things peacefully, needing to kind of like find that strength and power that comes from within. It's about gentleness, and it's about compassion. Just be careful. And he wants to climb now on the table. We just don't want a doggy on a table. and kind of like it's really a lot of need for inner calm and for courage and for kind of control. So Sagittarius, this is going to be very, very interesting. So hey, Sandra Gerard, Leo from California, nice to see you. Oh, you're that lioness, Sally. There you go. I'm the lion currently, Kylie. So yeah, camel stage is kind of weird. It's kind of like immovable, where you really don't want to change things. It's very much a status quo. So who do I really want to do next? Let's do Pisces, and Virgo is after Pisces. Oh, hopefully somebody is kind of like taking this down. All right, Pisces, 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 Pisces. There you go. Spark is doing amazing thing. Sagittarius got unicorn or unicorn. Yeah. What's up, mister? The fan is not creating that noise now, so you can. So this guy is like a dynamo, because we are not going out so much because of this heat. Now he feels that he has to spend every minute kind of doing something. So it's a working dog. When you have a working dog, you have to give them something to do. So I have to teach him how to clean the house. And I try to teach him to supervise Roomba, so he keeps busy. I was going, but instead he's attacking Roomba. And that's kind of expensive. So I had to stop. So Pisces. Coffee cards, Cat Radio Girl, and I'm a Capricorn. Yay! That's so well put. So we have burden and we have isolation. Huh. Pisces. This is a very interesting card in Osho Zen, because look at that. He is climbing that mountain and he is exhausted. But this lady couldn't give a shit, right? Sorry, my language, right? So she is just doing and saddling him and keep going and going and going, right? We need to move in this direction. So there is like some kind of hardship. So she is even having a rooster, like to kind of like be carried instead of like to walk his way. So what is it, Pisces? There is some exhaustion. You need to go. You're spending lots of time in your head. You are thinking and mulling things through. You have been really hurt, and like there is some sense of injury that you have suffered. There's like some sense of things really didn't work out properly, and you feel saddled with obligations and with responsibility. But the good news is, even though the climb is steep, the things are kind of coming through. It sounds to me, Pisces, that you have been spending lots of time crying. And it almost like hurts me when I'm saying this, that somebody was really angry and angrily kind of like coming down on you. I don't like the green thing because it tells me about some kind of envy, and you being the way you are, you just really wanted to help someone and somebody really just took advantage of you, I feel. Look at this isolation. He kind of like is breaking down. You have built like this kind of like ice around yourself, the house of ice, and it got so close to you that your heart started to be all kind of cold, and you really didn't see people trying to help you. The tears, letting the tears down, is the very thing that actually did help, because that's what melted in the situation, kind of like going in that authenticity. I do have to say that you have been going through something hard and something harsh, and you were trying to find a way to get out of the situation. And maybe you felt isolated, maybe you felt that other people kind of like start pointing at you and they were hurting you. There's like a sense of that there is a medicine also that it was forced down on you that you really don't want to take, but it's going to start working, and you will see that actually is going to start pushing it forward. So let me just grab another card for you, Pisces. This one wanted to come out, and you have a Knight of Pentacles. So yes, the solution is around the corner. This Knight of Pentacles is like you have a friend, you have somebody who is going to pick you up. You have fallen down and looks like things are really getting hard, but there is like a somebody who is there for you. There is like somebody who is telling you, okay, you can do it, I can help you, and I want to help you. I don't want to let you kind of like fend down for yourself. So it's somebody who is like chipping on this ice, and somebody who is saying, okay, you know what, let's get out, let's kind of like move forward, kind of like jump on my horse, I can take you. This also can be having financial resources being provided, but you guys need to wake up and seize the moment, right? Kind of like, seize the day, as they say, right? So this is really also talking about the opportunities and chances that you really need to take. They might not be easy. It might be a bitter pill to swallow, but it's going to start taking you somewhere. So it's almost like that some kind of compromising will need to be done. So I said Virgo next. Virgo, 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 Virgo. This one wanted to come out. Inner voice. Virgo, Virgo. And here we have rebirth, and here we have ordinariness. What was this American Dream movie? I don't know if you watched it. And the whole thing about this special girl who wanted to consider her special, and one of in girls, the other guy called her ordinary, and this whole magic was gone of all this kind of like bullying that she did. It almost looks like something like that in a different way would be happening here. The inner voice, you guys are having that feeling that you know something. The rebirth, again, it's very similar to what I was explaining to Sagittarius. This is kind of like that Nisha's kind of like story about a camel, lion, and a child, where, Camel is like so stuck, in believing that she's a cloud and she's a mountain. So nothing has to be changed. Everything is just the way it is. But then at some point, on some level of consciousness, the lion is like soaring out and saying, like, but it's almost aggressive. It's almost like kind of taking everything in a kind of like in the surroundings. And it really needs to kind of go to that level of purity, which is kind of like the strength of this innocence of that child, that kind of like we are following these things. But the revert here is reversed. So I'm thinking that something is really brewing inside of you. I also am thinking that there's like something very much connected to past lives that is happening, which could be clearing your karma over here. And it could be also about you're feeling a little bit immobile. You're feeling a little bit of, hey, I'm not being pushed in a proper direction. You kind of like really want to go somewhere, but you feel stuck. And I really feel I'm just getting a hint to myself, hey, they're also ruled by Mercury. This is Mercury retrograde doing that crap to them. And that's what it is, guys. I got a note from a client and saying, hey, where is my reading? I said, hey, you didn't get my note, I just sent it to you. She said, no, I didn't, but it's all okay. Hey, Mercury retrograde, kind of a thing. So you kind of like have some kind of like plan set in place, but the plan is not going to happen because you'll get a whole bunch of distractions happening. You need to kind of like really trust in yourself. This kind of like inner voice, the high priestess card over here is really talking about, look at this crystal over here. Everything is set in motion. It's just like it might going to take a little bit longer to revolve. And then you have this ordinariness. So it's almost like the day is birthing over here. I kind of really like this card, even though in this American beauty movie they kind of like used your ordinary as a bad thing, and that's why I gave this as an example. Actually, I really think it's a beautiful thing, finding joy in such easy things. And that's what I'm doing for my next 4 days. My vision quest is really beautiful, and paying attention to flowers, to blooming trees, to fruits that are being kind of like birthed is extremely important. It's also kind of like telling me that you also need to ensure that you are protecting yourself. and that ordinary is going to be very appealing to you. It's almost like kind of like put one foot in front of another and just trust and know that you are moving somewhere, you're moving forward. It's actually really lovely. And this card, I really think, to me, more than any other card, is actually talking about Virgo, because it's really telling me that you're looking in all the details. You are making sure, like, whatever you can within your own control field to work it out properly. You are also making sure that, you know, everything is there. So it's almost like you it's a perfectionist card, clearly, that is really telling me, but it can also kind of create a little bit of disagreement, I would say. It could actually indicate some jealousy happening. It could indicate, you know, that you have a hunch that something is happening and you'll be asking about it. So hence, this card can also talk about feeling old issues resurfacing, and hence they have to be dealt with and kind of like channeled over here. So Barbie, we are doing Virgo. I know you're busy, but when you get a chance, just please put this on. We're just finishing Virgo, and you're getting this. It's interesting because this is 10 of Swords card, and this is like Ace of Swords. So this new cycle happening. So it looks like we are switching. We are all switching. No, we finished Pisces. This is Virgo. So the next one, when I finish Virgo, I'll do it. Doing Barbie. So this is really telling me that maybe some pains, maybe some issues from the past. And trust me, like, I'm doing the shamanic things, the stuff that surfaced for me because I'm doing through this cleanse was extraordinary. The stuff that I thought has been dealt with long time ago, the stuff from my childhood, the stuff from my university, it was just absolutely bizarre, but it was absolutely needed because I dealt with that and then I knew it was over. It was kind of like embraced almost to be a part of me. And this is like, I'm seeing this victory, I'm seeing this karma, I'm seeing, like, I mean, you're getting this big check mark, and I think this is why this is happening. You're feeling really comfort by the end of the week in how you handle something and how you handle yourself. I think you're going to be having a week where you're going to demonstrate a big poise and kind of like serve as an example to all of us. So I know the connection is horrible, and this is Mercury retrograde. I had my internet going up and down for 2 days, then my phone, I'm trying to connect it to my phone, and that didn't work. It is really weird. We started this whole Mercury retrograde here with all networks in Toronto collapsing. Imagine one afternoon without phones. It was like spooky. And it was so weird because I still had Skype that kind of like worked, and I could talk to people over Skype. And I think it was Sunday, but so many friends called me, oh, can you call my mom? Can you call this? Can you call this? It was just weird. Like, what? We cannot do this? Yes, Barbie, we did Pisces and we did Virgo. Pisces are having kind of like difficult time. So who do I really want to do next? Let's see what we did. Mercury Mercury retrograde ends on the 31st officially, but it's going to take another 3 weeks, or at least 11 good days. I think August 11th officially you can really say we're out. And this one in particular, because it's in Leo, it's a very, very difficult one. You guys should check the readings that I had over there. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. So who do I want to do next? Let's do Capricorn. Oh, no, pick a card now. Yes, that's right. That's what Barbie said. Completely forgot. Pick a card. Pick a card. Pick a card. Pick a card. I'm going to do something differently this time. I'm just going to cut the text and read the bottom of it as your answer. So pick a card, and pick a card. Door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. Okay, if you ask for door number 1, you're getting the Lovers. The Lovers is about choice. It's about positivity, about a choice. And I think Mostly you have been asking about love questions, if something is going to work out, if you're going to hear from somebody, you will. And you will hear that somebody loves you. It's going to be really that encompassing feeling. This particular deck, we just see this like yin and yang kitty cats embracing each other. And my tripod is again crooked for some reason. But this answer is clearly yes. And it's really positivity. The choice that you're going to make is going to be a great one and positive one. And it's really good to go in this direction. Door number 2, you have the moon. The moon card, as you see here, it kind of like makes you think things that are not there, but we have the kitty in this particular deck going through this moon, and the kitty sees well in the dark. So you might possibly need to make a decision that you have nothing to grasp, purely intuitive decision, and you need to ask yourself, do I really want it, or this is something that is really good for me? And when you get the answer, whatever you answer to yourself is going to happen. And you really need to kind of like really honor your intuition in this particular kind of like case. Yes, this kitty really looks like leopard, and it's kind of like having this eyes that are special for them. And the number 3, whoa, we have, look at this, we have a major arcana. Did we not have a major arcana the last time? This kind of like starting to feel creepy, guys. These are big lessons and big messages, and this is also yes. It was maybe tangled up situation, maybe it was something that needed to be resolved, maybe there's like something that you need to kind of like pay attention to. Consequences card is clearly talking about justice needed to be served, kind of like things are falling into place, things are working out. So yes, it's absolutely yes. And this also will ask you to integrate yourself a little bit more. You need to make some steps toward that as well and look for a good solution. So you see, we had 3 yeses this time. Last time we had pretty much 3 no's, interestingly enough. So I said we're going to do Capricorn next. Capricorn. Boy, YouTube is difficult. Just like 11 more days of this. So one more live. I hopefully it's going to get better. You should see yesterday as I was uploading monthlies, it was like, oh my god, falling down. Look at that. We have 3 reversals. We have awareness, we have friendliness, and we have fighting. Are you guys bickering with your, loved one? Are you kind of like, it's almost like telling me there are like some kind of like thoughts that you have that are not really fully expressed? Because look at this awareness. There is like this blue flame that is coming through it, which kind of like is the one that is very, very hot, right? And there is like the shadow in behind. So there is like a real thing emerging over here. So what is it that you guys are preventing? There is like something, there is like some kind of blockage over here, guys. What is it? What is going on over here? There is like a lack of awareness about some kind of relationship, because this one here, a soulmate card, is called friendliness in this particular deck. And it's really talking about that even when you have 2 trees right next to each other, they will grow, and neither of them is going to overshadow the other one. They're just going to actually integrate and actually will work these things together and also to mix, so their offspring and things are going to actually really grow with the coverage of all of that. So it is really telling me that there is like an essence over here where you are being triggered with fight or flight thing over here, because look at him. Oh my goodness, he is all wound up, he is ready for a battle. Look at these sharp edges, but this is all rusted, this is all outmoded. Are you fighting a battle that you're not supposed to fight, Capricorns? Look at that, choking his neck in the background. You need to let go of something. It almost looks like that you have somebody unhealthy around you, or you're doing something unhealthy for you. Maybe you're fighting for somebody and being rejected, especially if, I mean, I'm seeing water and I'm seeing air over here. So especially if there is an air sign, I see lots of difficulties, and I see somebody really not necessarily embracing things. This can also talk about feeling really that somebody's abrasive to a situation, or somebody feels really slighted in the situation for some reason. So let me see another clarification over here. The moon. It's again about this moon. It's again about the path you're choosing is not really the path where you should be on. The moon, it should be like, it's about all these distractions. It's about jealousy. It's about going nuts. And maybe you're going into gotcha moment where the moment was not there. You have the Knight of Swords, which is almost like amplified this fighting card. This is going to be tough week for you, Capricorn, I will have to admit. And lots of things will depend on you. You need to be able to be vulnerable. You need to be able to express your feelings truly. It almost looks to me that there is like some kind of game playing, that you want something without really expressing what you really want, and the other person is not clearly capable of understanding the emotional impact that you're bringing and trying to and seeking, and instead they are fighting you. There are going to be arguments. Going to be arguments over, somebody will be possibly judged to be unfaithful, somebody will be judged to be harming the other person, or be very careful. Be very, very careful what you say, because you will not be able to eat your words later. That's all I'm telling you, because everything can be just perception. It could be, you know, that somebody's seeing things that are not really there, just as usual it is in the dark. You see how the different interpretation for the moon is in this deck. So careful, Capricorn, really, really careful. And I really need to go and eat soon. I'm feeling that my tummy is saying, hello, where is my kale shake? Yuck. So I did the kale shake with blueberries and cucumbers. What else did I put in there yesterday? Oh, banana, in order to make it palatable. But then I watched this Joe Rogan last night and I stayed up. Oh my gosh, with this Dr. David Sinclair. You guys must watch this. This guy found the, looks like he found the elixir of youth, and it's very simple, except it's very expensive. It's NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide or something like that, and you need to take 1 gram, so it kind of like will cost about $600 a month. But hey, it is there. And the guy's like in 50s, he looks like he's hell, in 28 or something. It's working. And he's saying his dad, who is 80 years old, I listened to it all 2.5 hours. He's 80, because his mom passed away, he's chasing around, playing tennis, because he's using the supplements as well. So, who do I want to do next? So Capricorn, we finished Capricorn, we did Pisces. Let's go Taurus. Taurus. Oh my God, Capricorn was heavy. So you know what? There are lots of Capricorns in American politics. Capricorns are bringer of the kings. Capricorns are the most ambitious of the earth signs. And, you know, the goat goes up, the high mountain, steep mountain, they're not afraid of it. And there are lots of people in American politics that are holding that kind of like position in the background. It's going to be really interesting to watch this week. I think it's going to be a major shakedown. I really think so, based on that. So, hey Andy, how are you? Are you guys boiling over there in that part of Canada? Sorry, Capricorn is really, really heavy. I know you're Capricorn as well. It was something happening. So this is about, what did I say? I'm reading for Taurus. We have totality, we have inner voice, and we have laziness. So, okay, it's strange. It's not going to be anything spiritual this particular week. Nothing bad about that. You're simply kind of like maybe going to feel that other people are too mysterious, other people are full of it, and other people don't want to do the things that they need to do. Kind of like you're going to feel very resolute about it. You are going to be all encompassed into doing something. This in this particular card, look at them, these trapeze flyers, right? They cannot think about what they left on the stove at home. Nope, not the time to think about if you kind of like eating early, are you kind of like waiting too much. This is just being in the moment. If you're not in, everything is falling apart, and this whole thing is like about immersing yourself in the now, and that's what I see over here. But even at that, you're going to feel that maybe other people are resisting, that other people are not it's almost like you're knocking on some kind of doors, and that somebody should be at home and they're not at home. So I'm almost like picking up on some kind of like anger on your Taurus, because this card laziness, which is in the other decks, a generally positive card, and this card is really talking about a few things. Let me have a sip. And this is really talking about, hey, you see this checkerboard over here? This is about, hey, which way do I go? Do I really want to continue pampering myself? Or these ice blocks over here that are forming, that are going to slowly start creep up upon it. But it was reversed. So it is about, maybe you were expecting something to be easy, something to kind of like slide smoothly. It's almost like, or somebody feels entitled on something. That could be kind of like part of this way. It certainly, you're having this 9-11, everything is adding to Tower over here. So it could be one of those moments which it can be shocking. Something might happen over here, Taurus, and something might happen in 11 days. So be very cognizant about what you're doing on the 31st over here. I know this is reading only for a week, but failing to do something which was really important, which you were important to do something. So this is almost like a must, being in the now. And it's kind of boiling down to essentials. Something that you failed to do might come back to bite you. So this is going to be really, really interesting over here. Hi, Steve. The next level of some kind of celebration and feeling of accomplishment. It's kind of like weird. You are going to accomplish something, but it's almost like you're not going to sit and enjoy it, or somebody's going to walk away on you. You're accomplishing to chase somebody away. Oh boy, Taurus. It almost like tells me that this is kind of like a story about being a bull in a china shop over here. And the bull in the china shop is not a good story. Everything is like cracking down and porcelain all over the place. Because it's really telling me that you have expectations of the others, or somebody has these expectations, and these expectations are something need to be done. I don't know. My dad, being Taurus, for example, he expects that because he needs to go to a store which is like 10 minutes away, that I have to drive from Toronto to go there and give him a ride. So this would basically require me taking a day off and losing a day of income, not to mention the gas, not to mention being in this like crazy traffic, instead of him just taking a taxi. And this kind of like makes people kind of like not to even take, the boy that cry wolf kind of a story. So you do this like few times, and then you really need something, and people don't even take that seriously. So that's what I worry about, that something really true might happen, because this is going to feel like a stagnation. It's going to feel like frustration. It's going to feel like that something is going to happen that you're not ready for. So it's going to be really interesting to hear from you guys, Taurus, and about that. I definitely want to know what is this going on about that. So thank you, Taurus, for listening. This is rough reading. I had 2 rough readings in a raw, right? So Andy, half of the closet can find anything. Oh, our problems that we have. Go and get something new, or take something from the bottom of the closet. It might feel you kind of like make you feel happy. Comfy. I like comfy stuff completely. I'm entire summer in the leggings and in t-shirt. That's kind of like when I feel it. And I found out that you can buy leggings that have the pockets on the side, not on the front, but sort of like on the side, and they're like so great for the phone and for the keys. So who do I do next? Do you want to give a message to the cat in the room? I do want to give a message to the cat in the room. And let me get a different card deck. I will do that. Thank you. Mister, can you move a little bit for me? Let me grab this. You know what? He's like a Velcro dog. It's just like he's always before me, always before my feet, lying down. Just almost like he's like that bear, skin rug, and which is lovely sense of loyalty, but it's also, oh my gosh, I'm tripping on you all the time. Okay, so this is a message for the room. Yay, Barb, yay, Barb. Message for the room. And like I saw 11444 when I said that. And we are having peaks of joy reversed, and it's 33. So let's see what it says. What we guys need to take in account. Your life is filled with happiness, so share it with others. So let's see. Do you rely too heavily on your material achievements when you assess how happy you are? Perhaps you say, I'll be happy when I meet the right lover, or make the right amount of money, or reach my ideal weight, and so on and so forth. Why wait to arrive at the perfect destination before allowing yourself to experience sheer delight? This is a day for joy. Take a walk, listen to the songbirds, scratch a kitty's head, play with a dog. Almost like it's a message to me. Look at a baby and be in awe of life, which leads to a true sense of bliss. Be alive, be grateful, and know that happiness is an inside job. This is lovely. And 33, the sixth number, this is the master number. It's really talking about this embracing that global community kind of feeling. So not to kind of like really think of the people on the other side as, oh, they're somewhere else. It's kind of like understanding of the things are there for a reason. So who did I need to do? So Leo, Virgo, I did it. Libra, I didn't do Libra. I didn't do Gemini. Oh, who else? Anything else that I'm missing? Let me just see Barbie's list over here. So Cancer, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Okay, so we have Libra and we have Gemini. So it's going to be Libra first. Libra also, I really want to thank you. You woke up. I was getting lots of clicks. I was hearing, hey, Libra here, don't relegate me to the sidelines, that kind of stuff. So good for you. So Libra is not going to be last. And I think Cancer is still in a kind of precarious position about that. So Libra, we are having flowering. I'm not so sure if it was up or down, so I'm going to take it both ways. Flowering, Libra. Libra. Let me see. I have lost conversation. Happiness is inside job to people a lot this week. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Look at it. Flowering. This is that Queen of Pentacles. It's kind of like if you're a mother, guys, this is going to be a week where lots of stuff relating to a parent, either your mother or you being a mother or both, are coming to play. She is being birthed from this lotus over here, just like what we had her in the other card with the Queen of Cups, right? Flowering with the lotus as well. It is about feeling connected. It's about feeling grounded. It's about feeling I have my own world. This is very different feeling for Libra, who is always existing in ideas, in the world of ideas, right? But there is like something that you really need to work on. Projections. It's almost like, and this is a part of Libra, being Libra. Libra sometimes, initially when they meet people, they think all the best of them and comparing everybody else to this new person in the world, where the new person really didn't prove themselves to them, and this new person still didn't reveal all of these negative aspects that they also have. In fact, they're emphasizing the positive aspects. So that's why you can see, right? And then when Libra kind of like is being let down, and sometimes is being let down because of their own comprehension of the situation, then gets really, really angry with that person, but also with themselves. How could I trust you? And I believed you, and why is this happening? So you can see this normal, otherwise normal people, they are here getting angry. A projection in psychology is something different. It can make the other person play a role, and that's sort of like when you karmically invite them. A generally nice person who has a completely clear karma reading, as a completely nice person, is all of a sudden going to have this blip. And that blip is like because somebody says, hey, you know what, let's do this role play. And I'm calling you to my karma because you really need to tell me something. So all of a sudden, maybe somebody is reflecting you back to you. And you're like not understanding, why is this happening? What have I done? What's going on? Did I do something? Kind of a thing, right? So things are kind of like getting out of proportions. And I really think this is the lesson that you are going to conquer this week, and you're going to emerge victorious. Certain things or certain people or this karmic connection that you have here really is going to dissipate. It's going to go away. Something has to end for this transformation. I really think for you already is taking place, because that's why you're so trying to be grounded. That's why I think Libra was this week trying to eat properly, trying to sleep properly, trying to think properly. It almost looks like that you have been already on the path of this kind of process, and it's going to culminate. You're going to start reaping the benefits already. You see how quickly this really happens for air signs. It kind of like can germinate really, really fast. It's really interesting that you also have this projection reverse. So whatever it was, there's some kind of clarity that you're reaching, and you're saying, oh my gosh, yes, yes, I know this is a result. I know that this was all along. So it could have been that you will be going through some kind of like misunderstandings with someone. You see, the Empress reversed, very kind of close to this Queen of Pentacles, and which also could be in reverse. It could be that maybe you're relying too much on how you look, maybe you're relying too much of what you have, and that can be a turn off. And this is not who you are. It's just like you're coming across that way, and maybe you're seeing in somebody else that materialistic aspect, and you're kind of like really disliking it and shunning it, and then they're telling you, you're telling me, but you are that way. And then all of a sudden, kind of like whole this kind of like illusion stops, and like everybody's waking up for the dream and saying, oh my gosh, but this is not how I meant it, that kind of stuff. Because this is also belonging to Venus, which kind of rules your planet, and it's kind of like reversed, and it could be that there is like a hurdle that is kind of like being overcome. Clearly you're going to feel powerful, you're going to feel accomplished, and you're going to feel like celebration. The Empress and the Emperor, that could mean, guys, that there is a couple that is no longer a couple. So it could be a breakup for some of you. It could be claiming who you are. You might say, hey, I need this peace. It could be that this could be your parents that are putting their 2 cents where these 2 cents shouldn't belong. People shouldn't be giving an unsolicited advice ever, period, ever. Maybe you can ask, do you want some advice? But if people say no, but thanks, I'm okay, then just stop doing it. This is clearly a couple that is no longer a couple, but you are still celebrating. So whether or not you're getting rid of someone you don't want, or this can actually really talk about different energies in you, that you had to strike the balance between a head and heart, and it feels like that people were pushing you and needling you from your side. It was really, really hard. So I really think whatever it was, that you somehow a little bit strayed away from your path and you're coming back. And this is kind of like working much, much better at this particular case. Okay, so let's catch up. Steve said, my cat said, beware of signs. She was not exaggerating. I have to say, I have had the past week some strange coincidences. Wow, they're more like foreshadow things to come in the future. Hopefully things work out. I really, really hope so. Good things. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad to hear that. See, people just sometimes take this as an entertainment, and I don't really blame them, because there's so many readers who are taking this as entertainment. For me, this is really hard labor. Trust me, I'm exhausted after this. And that's why, you know, I prefer quality or quantity, but that really doesn't pay the bills sometimes. So I just cannot do it any other way. And let's go with Gemini. Geminis, please, you have to do a better job clicking in order to get your reading. Like, I mean, I'm still mulling over if I really want to do your reading at all. So keep in mind that this, you know, reading, it takes a day of my life. And that day I can spend with kitties, I can spend just, you know, relaxing. So at least I really want to see some kind of commitment on your end. And at least in this reading, I want to see that you're going to, you're not going to, you're going to tell me off. Okay, so be it. No more general. I'm kidding. It's really up to you guys, because you're protecting something, you're protecting a fort that is no longer a fort, that nobody really wants to be in, right? Like, you're having this bad combination. Like, what is this arguing all about? It almost looks like you're arguing with yourself. And I think you're losing your friends in the process. There has been some kind of harsh words, and I also feel maybe somebody's very controlling, and I really think it's you. That controlling attitude is kind of like pushing things away. There is going to be a feeling of this entire week that things are not worked properly. Why is it that you're insisting on having things your way? That's the big question over here, because this whole fighting card over here talks about this kind of harsh edges, and it's clearly air, it's clearly your card as well. It can be something that might not end well. It might be something that can have injuries. It can be literal fighting. I do see you guys fighting with your friends, and this is kind of like should be treated like gold. And the friends are not going to always think and like what you do and what you say. The Empress. Maybe you need to feel important. It's the same vibration. And look at this. It's a 3 that over here that we have, and 3 and 9 is 12. So we have just repetition of this, but the Hangman is reversed. So it's again saying almost like you need to feel good, but you're not learning the lesson that actually needs to be learned in this process. And the lesson is that sacrifices need to be made, and that sometimes you need to do things the way that other people wanted to have it done. Pushing your stuff, yeah, you might win when pushing your stuff, but you're going to lose in the long term, right? So I don't know what to tell you. I had difficult readings for, I believe, Capricorn. Who else was it? Taurus. And now I have it for you. It is really boiling down to who you think you are. And are you going to be able to acknowledge somebody else in the situation? It almost looks like you are so self-protecting. It usually tells me that you're either exhausted or that so many things happen your way, but you know, it looks like there'll be lots of harsh words in the situation that really didn't have to be this way. So it's going to be a rough week. That doesn't have to be rough week, Gemini. Maybe ask this person, hey, how do you want to have it? How do you want to have it resolved? And see if you can accommodate them. because otherwise, I do see a loss of some kind. I do see a loss of partner. I do see loss of friend. I do see harsh words. I do see gossip over here. And I do see you saying, oh, never mind, I don't care. And you're going to hurt them like really so deeply. And I really don't think this is what you want. It just looks like somebody got you on a really bad day. Somebody got you when, you didn't sleep enough. And somebody simply triggered something in you where you felt that you need to protect yourself. And instead, like this whole bad situation have been created. So, beacon, like with my astigmatism, I was reading bacon. I said, bacon sounds so freaking good. I need to kind of do my breakfast right now. So, this is from me, guys, this particular week. And I really hope these messages find you well. So, who kind of like had the warning? I think the earth, most of us are going to try to be grounded, but the earth signs themselves are going to have a little bit of repositioning, that I think. So I didn't mean to say anything bad with that. Beacon is actually so much nicer than bacon if you really think about Aries. I didn't do Aries. Thank you, Anita. Yes, Aries, why did I miss you? And you're not supposed to be missed. You're like one of those signs that is ahead. So let's see. Aries. Thank you, guys. Someone's paying attention. Aries. Okay, so what is in the store for Aries? Oh my God, you got a freaking bundle. So you see, it's kind of like worth it to wait for the miser. Stress, but it's reversed. Suppression. Breakthrough. Sharing reversed. Comparison reversed. And clinging to the past reversed. Well, to me, the breakthrough card is really coming through over here. Why? Because this is a karma card. This is kind of like coming after this card. Like you're going from 10 to 11, and he is trying to push the walls collapsing. So what has been happening that you felt blocked in? You see, she built this wall. He is building the wall. There was like some kind of like stress that was coming onto you. You had like too many balls up in the air, and just one thing going off could just like make the whole freaking process falling down, almost like you are burning two ends of a candle. Because look at her, she is all made up and she has a whole bunch of jewels, and to her this kind of like represents something really, really important. But the truth is, hey, you are behind that wall and nobody else is going to be aware of this, right? So you really need to kind of like take these brick walls down. And there is like some level of apprehension that I'm picking up here, or Aries. Maybe you are not necessarily afraid of the other people, but cautious of your environment, I would say. Maybe this relates to work environment, that lots of things have been happening, that maybe somebody loaded you with unbelievable amount of work and it was really hard to kind of like do it. Maybe you have a boss who wants to get rid of you, so they are giving you impossible tasks over here. And I think you're going to really come up with resolution to the problem in a very successful way. And this card is called sharing. It will be basically you, it's the Queen of Wands, but it's reversed. So you are going to be applying a completely different tactics and completely different kind of like things, because somebody is trying to compare you. Well, so and so did it this way, or this girl is more beautiful, or this girl has blonde hair, or she is more voluptuous. But you cannot compare an oak and a bamboo at all, right? Because one is going to shoot, like one is going to germinate for, I don't know, 7 years, and then it's going to shoot in like, in a short period, like really, really high. It's a hollow inside, while the other one is going to build everything and is going to stand strong and sturdy. So the solution for you is going to be out of the box, clearly, feeling. There is like somebody who is settling you. Well, it always has been this way. So maybe even in your dating, maybe in your married life, maybe in your love life, you're not going to do things the same way. You're realizing that certain ways of doing have stressed you out, and you're realizing that you have been struggling really, really hard. Look at this, like he is all kind of like tied up in all these knots and not kind of like seeing the way out. I also feel that something like that might be happening in a dream, that the dreams are going to be rich with messages for you guys in this particular period, right? And there is going to be a lots of faith and hope in what you're doing, and that what you're doing is correct and right. Because look at here, you have 1721. There is like this hiding this kind of like another karma card, which is talking about this week is going to be very important in order to determine your future. Look at this, 10 and 5 and 5, 10, 21. We see exactly the same thing. You guys are coming to the end of one phase, so you're tying up all the loose ends. So make sure you say really good things to everybody, because next week you'll be coming with a completely new strategy. You have shed your skin, you're going in a new direction. You guys have overcome in spite of odds, and people will see you differently. People will see you as very confident. So something has been happening on you, like almost like I'm feeling that heaviness that you felt, that you are cracking down under some kind of burdens, and that's all of a sudden going to be released, because you realize that the whole process was wrong. The whole question was not the right question. You have been trying to compare yourself, and you have been trying to say, well, this is the right way to do it. And now it's going to be extremely creative opportunity to kind of like look into kind of like different things and finding solution. And it's kind of like really lovely about what is up and coming. It's kind of like going to feel it's not very stable, but that's actually, oh, look at this. This is all unstable cards over here that are happening, right? But this is the beauty about that. Whenever you're going into something new and something creative, the instability is the name of a day. And it's kind of like normal for things to happen in that particular order. So it's almost like shedding the past and shedding the old ways of doing that. And that can almost kind of be some kind of breakthrough, especially if you're in a medical science or if you're in some kind of technology. You're going to really be on the brink of some kind of discovery. Again, whole bunch of freaking cards for you. So you see, this is the same thing, clinging to the past that is reappearing. We have another time, like maybe you had issues at home. Maybe there was like something that you had with children where you felt your hands are tied. Maybe you needed to talk to your teenager and the teenager didn't really want to talk to you. It could have been an atmosphere where it was really, really hard to have to slide your word edgewise, kind of a thing. It's very strange. So it's 18, 27, 30. Yeah, see, that's also about the past. 30, and that will be 35. So it is really talking about commitment. You guys might be dealing with a Leo, or might be dealing with needing to decide what to do. Maybe some of you are getting a new job or trying to say to yourself, I cannot continue this anymore, and this past is ending over here and the future is starting as of this point on, because you're landing on this card. This is this card of new horizons. This is a card of feeling empowered and enriched, and about the new solutions. And what happened here? Are you even seeing this? I'm not even looking at the monitor. I'm just looking at my cards here. So yeah, the tree is very interesting card, because it's kind of like linking to the Empress, and Empress is kind of like about the flow of emotions, where in this particular Three of Wands, which kind of really links to you. Honestly, I'm connecting this to Arises, and particularly those Arises who are born in March. It's going to be you're so dead focused on something that you really want to do. This is absolutely amazing. This is new strategy, which is again confirming that what I said. It's going to be planning strength, and it's going to be I think travel, after all, maybe you were planning something to do with the family, some kind of travel, but this probably will get canceled or postponed, or you'll have a flat tire, or the child is going to get sick. But finally, certain things will happen. It will happen when they need to happen, because at that point, you are going to put all of these elements together and they are going to work out at that stage. So there you go, Aries. Sorry for almost forgetting you, but yeah, this is really interesting. Oh, Sally, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love you so much. Without this life, you know, I don't know what I would do. Sometimes I go like, oh my gosh, I spend so much time reading and do people really like it. So it's really interesting. So I do have a different approach, Steve, because I'm trying to experience each of these cards, not just like throw the like, I mean, keywords at you, because the keywords cannot be put together when there's more than one cards together, so they have to start making sense. So thank you very much, Anita. Hopefully this helped. Aries is going to go with their head through the wall, and they are going to break that wall, and the new found self-esteem and new found self-respect and solution will appear. So that's going to be interesting. My brother is Aries. I really want to see what he's going to report this week. Thank you guys so much. I am going to right now put the music on and going to eat something, and after that I'm going to continue with my monthly readings for the next month. So be well. Let me give you first this thingy, and I don't know if this has a sound like this subscribe thing.